Miami Heat Nation, what is going on? So, in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 star slash superstar players the Miami Heat should trade for. Now, obviously, you're not going to be trading for 5 star players, like that's unrealistic, but one of these players, they should be on the Miami Heat start of next season. So, I have a list of these players. Let us know in the comment sections, what is your favorite player? What player do you want on the Miami Heat? And if you guys enjoy Miami Heat content, this is the best channel for y'all. I appreciate you guys so much. If you subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a like and comment, and all that good stuff. And for all my supporters already that support me, you are the guys are the best in the world. And I appreciate you guys so much. I love y'all for real. And if you want to join my Discord, the link in the description. Now, this is a new name that has been recently been brought up, and it's Trey Young. So, Trey Young is obviously the point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. 25 years old, 6'1", weighs 164 pounds. Last year, played 54 out of 82 games. He was injured, had surgery and stuff like that. Averaged 36 minutes, averaged 25.7 points a game, shooting 43% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, 2.8 rebounds, and 10.8 assists, averaging 1.3 steals. Now, Trey Young didn't have the greatest season last year. The fit with DeJounte Murray and Trey Young just hasn't really fit too well. And now that the Atlanta Hawks do have the #1 pick, there's obviously speculations now that they might be packaging Trey Young to move on. And I believe, the Atlanta Hawks are going in a different direction. Trey Young pretty much says that he wants to win. He has been linked to the Lakers earlier in the year. Now is being linked to the Miami Heat. And I understand we have a Terry Rozier. I get that. But I do think Trey Young is the better player. I think he's a better scorer. I think he's a better playmaker. And yes, he has his cons. He's not a great defender at all. But I do think that he will put his effort. I think he will try. And playing for a Heat team that's based off defense and that has to switch 1 through 5, I think it definitely will get better. I'm not asking him to be a lockdown defender or anything like that, but I do think Trey Young would make sense. I think he would make this offense look pretty damn good. Now that we look at his contract, and also I do want to say I'm going to put his contract in this thing, but I do think Trey Young's value is not that high that people think it is. So, yeah, he's on a $43 million contract, cap hit right now. Well, $215 million contract. He's not going to be done till like 2026, 2027. But there's just too many speculations, too many rumors that he's going to be gone. So if the Miami Heat are going to make a move, I would make a move this offseason if you can't land these 4 other players that I have brought up in this list today. So that's one of the options, Trey Young coming to Miami. Now, going on to option number 2. And mind you, I want to say this is not in order at all. This is not in order. Some people may not be big on this, but I do think he's still a star in this league. Paul George, he's 34 years old. This year, averaged 22 points a game, shooting 47% from the field, 41% from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and averaging 1.5 steal. Paul George is a true definition of a 3-D player or 2-way player, whatever you want to call it. Yes, in the playoffs, he did struggle. He probably had like really one good game, if you really want to think about it. That 33-point game where he was shot 11 for 19, 7 for 10 at the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. But you also got to think that, the Clippers throughout this whole stretch of PG and Kawhi Leonard, they all been hurt. So it definitely has been tough. When you go to the Miami Heat, I don't think he would be that number 1 guy. If he is, we still have Bam, we still have Jimmy. So there will be options out there to help him out. So you could think of Paul George. I know that he hasn't signed a contract extension yet. I will say he did play 74 out of 82 games, so this was his healthiest season. He finally back in the postseason. So I know some people are not really high on Paul George, but it's definitely something to look at, especially if we can't land, a Donovan Mitchell type player like that. But when we do look at Paul George's, contract and stuff like that, all these players are going to be expensive. His average salary is about $44 million. But like I said, I brought up earlier, he has not signed that contract extension, so he's on a player option. We'll see what he does. I truthfully think he does leave the Clippers. The 76ers are the favorites, but if the Miami Heat want to step in here and throw an offer to the Clippers, I for sure would do it because having a Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, depending if we got to trade Tyler Hero or not. I still think this team is really competitive and definitely one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. I think it really comes up to the Miami Heat just landing that star player. I think that's all it really comes up to. And there's star players available, this offseason. So, yeah, Paul George and Trey Young, a couple of options right there. The next one, we've been talking about this one a lot recently, but Brandon Ingram, this one seems a little bit more realistic out of like all the trade targets. 7'3" wingspan, 6'8" height, only 26 years old, fits the Bam Adebayo timeline. Averaged 20 points a game, 49% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Definitely a solid player. The Pelicans are planning to trade him. I think the Pelicans just want to build off, a Trey Murphy, a Herb Jones with Zion and stuff like that. I don't think Brandon Ingram fits this team. I don't think it's a great fit with BI and Zion, so I definitely think he will be gone. I honestly think he will be pretty cheap too. I don't think he'll be too expensive at all. Obviously, I'm gonna bring up his contract once again. I don't think his contract will, his trade value will be too much. But so when we look at it, 2024, 2025, no contract extension. His average salary right now is like $31 million. So if we're gonna trade for a player like BI, I'm totally with it because, like I said, the Miami Heat are looking for the players that could fit the timeline of Bam Adebayo. When Jimmy Butler, ends up retiring, we still need to be a competitive team and stuff like that. Now, obviously, the next option, I kind of already spoiled it earlier in the video. I'm not too sure if you caught on. And this is the favorite option for everybody. I already know. Donovan Mitchell. This is the guy that we all want. This is a guy that his team just got eliminated. He has missed the last 2 games with a calf injury. Not too sure if he's going to accept that contract extension. There's still so much to talk about with a Donovan Mitchell right now. There's rumors that Darius Garland may get traded. There's rumors that Jared Allen might get traded. They might be blowing it down a little bit because the coach might be getting fired too, that he's on the hot seat, losing to the Celtics, which doesn't make sense to me. Playing the best team in the league, his teams were hurt. Hey, but it is what it is. It's the NBA. So it really just depends of what Donovan Mitchell wants to do. Because if he signs a contract extension, then none of this matters at all. We got to move on to the other options. But as soon as he denies it, then it gets interesting. And also, we got to compete against other teams that want Mitchell. The Lakers have options. The Brooklyn Nets have options. Obviously, the Miami Heat. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be more teams that are going to want Donovan Mitchell because he's that type of player that can literally take over. Had a huge postseason. Had a really good postseason, man. So shout out to Donovan Mitchell. Please come to Miami. And yeah, now lastly, I still have hope. I understand, people have given up on him. Yes, people have said he's old. He's not the same player. Damian Lillard. And, he's 33 years old. They didn't play the greatest this year, but still averaged damn near 24 points a game, 42% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and 7 assists, averaging a steal. Was injured pretty much the whole playoffs. The Bucks was a disappointment. Giannis was hurt. Dame was hurt. Chris Middleton was dealing with injuries. You hired a new coach and Doc Rivers, so it was pretty much a disaster over there. And I definitely expect some changes. I definitely don't expect the Milwaukee Bucks to be that I think they're going to be competitive, of course, right? I think they're still going to be competing to win that championship as long as you have Giannis. But Dame don't want to be in Milwaukee. He doesn't. Why does Dame want to be in Milwaukee? He doesn't. He never wanted to. He wanted to play in Miami. I'm still willing to do it. I honestly think this is going to be the trade that no one's expecting because there's way too many rumors. There's way too many speculations that he's not happy, doesn't want to play over there. And then also, what kind of helps the Miami Heat is that Dame didn't have the greatest season, so his trade value, you can pretty much say, well, he didn't play that well. Maybe we can give you less than what we was going to give you before. You get what I'm trying to say? So, and also, we don't got to deal with the Portland Trailblazers GM no longer. We have to deal with the Bucks GM. So I still think there's a chance with Dame Lillard. I still think he can compete. I think he still could be a very good player in this league. So yeah, those are the 5 players that I would love the Miami Heat to target or trade for this summer. At least land one of them, land one of these wheels, and let's compete for an Eastern Conference championship and then go to the finals and let's see what we can do. So if y'all enjoyed this video, once again, drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to talk to me a little bit more behind the scenes, join my Discord, link in the description, and I'm out of here.